My mother, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother all were farmers on a potato farm in Idaho. And so today I'm honoring my roots with the queen of root vegetables, potato. We're making potato salad. I love outdoor entertaining, and whenever I'm invited to a potluck, one of the first things I think about, what can I bring, is potato salad. So the recipe we're going to make today, it's actually started with my grandmother and then was passed down to my mother and now me. Main ingredient, of course, potatoes. My mother and grandmother were both from Idaho. They grew up on a potato farm, so of course they were experts at preparing all things potato, and notably their potato salad was amazing. So we're going to make that today, but we're going to make it 100% vegan. So no egg mayonnaise, and another ingredient I like to add which makes it particularly special. We'll get to that. All right, so we're starting off with our potatoes. I like to use Yukon Gold potatoes. They have to be boiled. I dice them up. For this recipe I use about 8 Yukon Golds, but I prefer them because they don't break down and become mealy when they're cooked. Unlike russet potatoes, which are your classic baking potatoes, you can definitely use those. I've used them, but I find they sometimes get a little mushy. So my salad gets a little bit more like a mashed potato salad than, your typical potato salad. What we have is 8 Yukon Golds. It's about 2.5 to 3 pounds worth of potatoes. So whatever type of potatoes you use, just figure that's about how much you want. I've gone ahead and already boiled these. I cut them up into cubes that are, well, kind of more rectangular cubes. I don't like them too small. I like them more bite size. And you just boil them in water, cover your potatoes in water, already peeled and cubed for, I don't know, probably about 10 minutes or maybe a little bit longer. Just test them. You're going to want to test them when a fork or a knife goes in it easily. It's time to pull the potatoes off the heat, strain them, and then I sometimes will even run cold water over them just to keep them from cooking any longer. I like to start my potatoes ahead so that they can be cooling and draining while I go ahead then and prepare the other ingredients, which is exactly what I did with these. One of the ingredients we're going to be adding is red onion. I like red onion. It adds some really nice color to the salad, and the flavor is great. Personally, I use a half an onion. And just FYI, all of these ingredients, with the exception of the dressing, you can adjust it to your taste. So if you don't like a lot of onion, use a little less onion. If you don't want to use any onion, you don't have to use any onion. But I kind of think this recipe is just that much better with it. So we're going to put this in here. So this was about 1/2 of a medium-sized red onion. It's probably the equivalent of about 3/4 of a cup. To that I'm going to add 1 cup of diced celery, cut about the same size as the onion. So our next ingredient we're going to add is sweet gherkin pickles. This is 3/4 of a cup of diced sweet gherkins. They add a really fabulous flavor to the potato salad. I'm going to go ahead and just toss these ingredients together so far. Don't want to do it too much. Some of my potatoes are a little bit soft, so I don't want to mush them up too much. Now the next ingredient I'm going to add is one of those that if you don't have it, don't worry about it. But if you prepare this in advance and add it to your potato salad, you're going to be glad you did. And this is my eggless egg salad. If you haven't watched the video yet on making the eggless egg salad, you may want to watch it. Make yourself a batch of it and then use some of it to the potato salad. When I was a kid, during spring and on Easter, my mom would often make the potato salad because it was a great way to use up all of those hard-boiled eggs that my brother and I would decorate for Easter. It was a wonderful way to utilize all those extra eggs. So I'm going to give that another little toss. So this gives that kind of that egginess that would typically be in our potato salad that we would have. Okay, so final step is the dressing, and the dressing is very basic. It's 1 cup of vegan mayonnaise. To that we're going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of sweet paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ground pepper, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to stir that in. And what that is I've set aside about 1/4 cup of pickle juice. And this is the juice that came off of the sweet gherkins that we've already put in the salad. I'm not going to use all of it. I'm just going to add a little bit. And I'm going to whisk this in. I'm not adding all of the pickle juice that I've set aside. I don't want to make the dressing too thin. I'm going to give this one more little taste. So we'll put that on. And now we'll stir in the dressing. I'm just carefully folding it in. Again, I don't want to break up my potatoes too much. Doesn't change the taste at all. And in fact, me personally, I kind of like it when the potatoes break down just a little, but if we want to keep it more like a traditional potato salad, we want the potatoes to kind of maintain their shape. Okay, so it's salad time. There we go. And then just like Grandma and Mom used to do, they'd always sprinkle a little bit of paprika just for a little added color right over the top. Perfection. Mom and Grandma would be so proud. I hope you give this a try. You won't be sorry you did. Hey, thanks so much for watching, and if you liked what you saw, please subscribe, and if you've already subscribed, please share with your friends. Am I like just so boring? What would you see me say like, okay, we're gonna do, hey, hey. What?